guys, like I said earlier, our guest is the one and only Omotola Jalade Ekende, an award-winning Omoto Sex. Oh, sorry, that song has been in my head. Has been in my head. An award-winning Nigerian actress, director, producer, singer, global humanitarian with over 300 films to her credits.
I tell you, man, and when you hear these numbers I'm about to mention right now, you might be wowed. Over 31 years in the game and 300 movies. How does this numbers even sound to you when you like, I've been 31 years in the game,
like, this is
300 movies? Like, wow. How does it sound to you when you hear it? Yeah.
It's not as big as it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the only times when I get a little bit like, ooh, okay, is when I see adults say, oh, I've been watching you since I was a child. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
I think those are the only times when it feels a little bit weird. But other than that, it just feels like those years run by
so fast. Okay, and also the Time 100 and member of the Academy Oscar voting body. But when you look back to how you started, did you ever think you would get to this pinnacle of success? I mean, global, like a global symbol of Nollywood.
I hoped so. I planned for it. I planned for it. I worked very hard. I saw that it was possible because I saw it was already happening in other climes. And I always mirrored from the beginning of my career what was already happening in Hollywood. That's the truth. So I learned what they were doing and hoped that I would get the same results.
All right. So quick, is this your director debut? Like, is this the first, right?
First.
Wow.
So let's talk about the movie.
Feature film.
Feature film, right? Let's talk about your movie, Mother's Love.
Mother's Love.
Why now, and why did you decide to? Why didn't you just say, okay, let me just come back to any of the streaming platforms and just boom? But why this? Yeah.
I've just never been someone who follows trends, and I don't do things just because, you know, it is being done. I didn't see any need to shoot a movie, to be honest. I didn't feel the urge. I didn't feel like the story found me. Even though I've had several stories, I didn't think it was tugging on me to tell them. At least not as a feature film. I wanted to do global stories. This was my intentions and my hope. But coming into 30 years, I came into the country, I think about, well, I'll say last year, pretty much, you know, because this was shot early last year. And I remember, you know, a wonderful younger colleague of mine, brilliant, the very brilliant Ruth Kadri, was like, Mama, do you know what is even happening in these shows at all?
Yeah.
Like, you know, YouTube has taken off, because I did Tefest, you see, and with Tefest, you saw that, right? Our masterclass was actually sponsored by YouTube, but at that time I was thinking YouTube was like Snapchat, to be honest.
Wow.
I thought it was just a place where they go and dump like pirated movies, and people will go there and watch all this stuff. I didn't even watch YouTube until I left Nigeria, because YouTube is very big in America, but in Nigeria I just thought it was pirated films, and you know, just people who are doing maybe tutorials and stuff like that. That was the image I had of it. And so she said, but look, this whole thing has taken off here now with movies and everything. She showed me numbers. I felt like, I can't do this. She was like, no, you can. And that girl is a hard worker. She doesn't let up. She was like, Mama, if it's the last thing I get you to do, you should a YouTube project. Anyway, I ended up shooting one, and then after I shot that, I guess I just got ballsy, and I said, well, I did one already. I saw the result. I said, you know, I can try another. And then so I decided to shoot a feature, but a small, very, very small script. And the script came to me. Is a story that I've always had close to my heart. So I said, okay, let me try with this small project. I mean, what do I lose? At worst case scenario, if I don't like it, nobody gets to see the movie. I'll show it with my family and everything, but at least it would have helped me to, you know, step into it.
But how has it been like, especially because of the Nigerian market, which is quite different? You've had the TIFF, you had quite a couple of, you know, global tours and screenings, which of course, given the fact that you have placement in Hollywood, you've been able to access those markets. But here in Nigeria, where there's so much competition, there's so much grinding at the box office, at the cinemas, I mean, it must have been like, it's not supposed to be this difficult now. But have you been able to even navigate with all of the movies that you've been on, shows talking about how difficult it is to sort of market this film, given that you thought, it would be easy to come make an entrance back. How have you been able to deal with all of these challenges? No, especially the dancing parts. Did you dance?
No, I didn't think it was going to be easy to. Even before I left, cinema in Nigeria has always been tough. We don't have many screens. It was like we're starting all over, the cinema culture. So I knew that it was tough, but we had the streamers who came and made things easy. We had some kind of movie they wanted to take it, then you would just promote your films and stuff. While I was shooting, they were still here. So I actually shot hoping that if even it will go out, it will go through to the streamers, right? And by the time I finished shooting, they were gone. They were gone. Wow. And so I was like, oh wow. So now I'm mostly left with only cinemas, and you can still go to streaming, but even with the streamers, they'll tell you it has to first go to cinemas. So it's a different kind of ball game. It's a different kind of energy and all of that stuff. And you're right to say that the grind is tough, because there's so many movies coming, there's so little screens to all fit into, and then the public too are not quite. It's not just in Nigeria, even internationally. Like, people are not going to theaters anymore, so it's not just Nigeria. It's worldwide, because now you have stuff on your tablets, or people are lazy, like, why do I need to go, and all of that, and then ticket prices are not that cheap. So, but in Nigeria, we're really trying. The cinema owners are trying. They keep making ways for Nollywood to thrive, and I have to give kudos to a lot of my colleagues who are also pushing and doing the best they can. I understand these things. I just wish that we could get it right, in such a way that one thing does not suffer because another thing needs to thrive. I think that's the point I was trying to make when I said I don't have to dance to promote a movie. There are other ways of distribution, and we need to develop all of them and not leave the onions only to the actor, where then you have to be, you're wearing yourself out, because that's the only way that it seems. And so everybody's telling you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. That's not bad. Like, I guess that's what I've been trying to say. Like, if you go and check my videos, I'm sure you'll see that I've danced. I mean, I'm also
sexy.
I was on Celebrity Takes Two. I'm a dancer.
It's all of that.
Yeah, so dancing is not a problem. Relax. It's not dance with me. But this is a job. This is an art, and there's a way that there's a form that it takes, and there are some ways that the distribution and the promotion ought to go traditionally and all of that. Then you have the unconventional ways, which is now social media, and all of, which is cool. But I guess it's the pressure. And then I'm also speaking for so many people, but I think because in that interview I didn't have enough time to explain. I'm speaking for so many other people who now are being pressured, and at least I'm on social media. There's some actors who are, I said it there, I said there's some actors who are not on social media, and now their jobs are being threatened. We have older actors in this industry who cannot do content, who cannot dance in front of the camera. Now their jobs are being threatened because now it seems as if there was a time when they would tell actors, you have to go to the cinema and pretty much start hawking. Come and buy now. Come and watch now. And people are going to drag it. I don't know if that still happens, but I think that has reduced now. And now we've moved into another one because this has been successful with the industry. And I'm saying we don't need to always follow trends because it's successful with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people. We need to, it's a big industry. Let's us all do different things and open up other ways.
So I watched the trailer yesterday night, and I must say Mother's Love feels deeply emotional and personal. So what part of you is in that particular film? When you look at it, like, this is Omotola.
This is Omotola. I would not say this is Omotola per se. Actually, there's a lot of Omotola. I've not thought about that. I've not thought about that. I've been thinking more of the story. The story being part, like inspired by true events, and so my life is in that story, both as to how it relates with my relationship with my mother, and now with my own daughter, and also with other people's stories as well. So I think I've been looking at it from that angle, but I haven't looked at it as to maybe personally Omotola, the way I behave. I think yes, I see my character's name, by the way, is Labake. So I see some Omotola in Labake. I really do, but I would say maybe old Omotola.
Older Motola.
Yeah, I see a lot of older Motola in Labake.
Wow. And the amazing cast, Lily and all the amazing cast. I mean, what was it like working with this beautiful set of cast? Because I know when you pick, you obviously are very careful of the people. You don't just want to pick any kind of person, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the cast I picked, and I'm not even saying, you know, sometimes you say things because it's a political thing to say, the right thing to say. No, I'm saying this genuinely. I love the people I picked. I'm actually in love with them, literally. Like I'm a director and I'm watching them because I edit my movies. And
yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm editing the movie and I'm their fan, and I'm like, oh my God, like, yeah. I'm an actor's director. I am. I really am. I love characterization. I love actors who are deep. I like actors who bring life and breathe life to a character, and not just on the surface level. I like you to go behind and imagine what this character's life would have been like beyond the pages of this paper. Give me another movie, even if I'm not ever going to shoot it out of this one already. Just mess up my imagination, will you?
You know, just one more question before we head for a quick break. You know, Nollywood, just like Afrobeat, has become a global phenomenon out there right now. When you see the upcoming generations,
sorry, let me just stop you right there. Okay. Just like Afrobeat, we were there before Afrobeat. Afrobeat, just like Nollywood. Okay. For real.
Let me correct that. Just like Nollywood. So when you see the upcoming this new generations actually, you know, doing what you guys did in the past, do you feel proud? Do you feel that moment like, yo, we made this happen? I'm
very proud of Afrobeats right now. So like I said, we were there internationally before them. What they've done is they've taken it a notch, many notches, by the way, you know, higher, and you know, they've been able to achieve the kind of international recognition, not exposure. We had exposure before them, but now they have recognition more than Nollywood has, which is sad, because to think that we had a lot of movements back in the 90s and early 2000s, and somewhat now that it should be accelerated, it kind of has slowed down. I don't understand why. I think I have ideas as to why. Maybe people are complaining about our stories, like they're not as deep as they used to be, and maybe the acting is not as genuine as they used to be from what I have read. I think we're getting back to those now. For example, with Mother's Love, it was very important for me to go to human stories first, you know, and not overcomplicate things. Back in those days in Nollywood, the way we got people was not even the quality of our productions, because you know those qualities. But we loved them.
We didn't even care. We didn't even care.
That's the truth.
Because we watched it. So far Motola was there. So far Genevieve was there. We will watch it.
In fact, once we see the poster of Motola stage,
we saw the film. We didn't have any choice.
Because I think you felt like at the end of the day, these people would deliver good acting. You know, you know, they would try the best they can to leave themselves and be in the character, and you knew that it was somewhat genuine, and that the stories also helped us, you know. So as much as the story writing then was not even as professional as today with the acts and all of that, it was very straight to the point, to your heart. You could feel it, you know, and all of that stuff. So I think that's what we're trying to get back to with Mother's Love. It's a human story. We've showed this all around the world. We've shown it in America. We've shown it twice in America, at Silicon Valley, and at the university, USC, University of Southern California. We've shown it in Toronto at TIFF. So it's been viewed in different places, and we're going to PAF now. We're going to Pan African Film Festival.
So I'm sorry to just cut. I wanted to just touch on the Time 100 because you are not a voting member of the Academy, and the conversation of Nigerians have not been nominated for Oscars. I mean, all of that. How important is it for African creatives to sit at the global scene? You're already with the Grammys, we're already getting some sort of, but also with the Oscars. It's been an ongoing debate why our movies maybe get to a first stage, but we don't actually get to that big stage.
Right.
And people are asking, okay, I mean, we have all these amazing people at the Scribble Oscars, Voting Academy. What's happening to our stories? Is it the type of stories we're telling, or what exactly is the challenge?
I don't think it's too much of the stories we're telling. There's been great stories that have come through. The problem has been not enough funds going into those movies. It's very capital intensive. from production, also even the type of production. When you want to shoot a movie for the Oscars, you have to be very intentional. Like from the beginning, from the times when you're picking your producers, all these things matter. The Oscars is almost very political. And I think this is a part where people don't notice or take care. Like, who's your producer? Is your producer a PGA? It's very important.
Okay.
That is a very important part. Is your director, you know, a DG, you know? So these are very important. They look at those things. Unlike music, movies is quite intense. It's very intense. With music, they're a little bit more, you know, they're a little bit more easy. You know, music is more easy compared to film. Film is snobbish. It's very snobbish. Yes, it doesn't. I mean, look at how long it's been for some great actors that you know to even get an Oscar, and you're like, you got to be kidding me.
True.
You can't. Like, you know, it's very tough. It's very tough, even for them. How much more for us? You know, so we have to be very intentional from the beginning. We need the government to understand that, just like sports, and you help them to go to, what is all the stuff that they go to in football? World Cup, Olympics. Yeah, the seriousness that you give those sports, football, tennis, all the entertainment industry needs as much support and seriousness. So from the beginning, you have to groom the players, the actors, the directors. You know, don't leave them to, they don't just say, oh, we have this fund today and we're giving that. No. Determine the people at a time that you want to see through the entire process and follow through with that. I always say in all interviews, one of the countries that is doing that perfectly right now that we can actually understudy is South Korea. They came from nowhere.
Squid Game.
They came from Squid Game is like the fast food of what they've done. Look at Parasite.
Yes, Parasite.
Look at Parasite.
Parasite was bigger.
And go and check how from the onset their hands were in that project. They already knew where they were going. And Parasite is a Nollywood story, just in case you don't know. It's a typical Nollywood story.
You need to give us a master class.
It's a typical human story. I watched it and I was like, oh my God, it's like Roma. Like, they are typical Nollywood stories, but done with intentionality.
So let's talk about your humanitarian services right now. I mean, during the NSAS, you were very outspoken. You also talked about how, you know, it affected you and your kids as well. So how did that moment for you change everything? When you look at things happening right now, you're like, oh man, we're back at this again.
Please don't get me started. Let's just leave me alone. Leave me alone, because you guys already know how I get when it comes to activism and talking about this country. I get way too passionate for my own good. To be honest, what will I say? I pray that, you know, we move from talking. We just need to move from talking to doing.
Action.
Yeah, we need to move to action. You go on the blogs and, you know, it's all vibes and just insults and dragging and, I tell you. Yeah, you know, it's fun to have fun. It's good to have fun and ease off. But when it's time to be serious, can we be serious? You know, do we understand that our lives are actually what is if you say, oh, I don't want to be part of politics, one way or the other, when you have an accident on the road and there is nobody there to pick you up, no ambulance, or you get to the hospital and they tell you that, you know, you have to go pay for blood, and they keep you on the sideline and you're bleeding out, and, you know, then you understand how important politics or the likes of it are. We all need to get involved. If you don't want, I'm not partisan. I would probably never be partisan, but somewhere I've done, and I'm doing my part. I used to be an activist on the street. I've moved from that now into advocacy and all of that stuff. But start wherever you are. Start wherever you are. There was a time when they were like, oh, celebrities are not talking. Celebrities started talking, and they got into a lot of trouble. And when they do, you guys don't even support us anyway. How many people actually buy the celebrities that actually were main activists? How many people used to buy their work? Let that be their compensation.
Okay, but because of time, we need to wrap up really quickly. Let me ask this question. Do people still call you Omotola, sexy meetings, serious meetings? Like when you go for serious meetings, did they call you sexy?
Now they like doctor. Now they like doctor, but yeah, I still get sexy. I think people just like that.
We love it. When you go, then again, which is the sweetest movie you've done? Like your most favorite movie, all the films you've done?
Wow, it has to be Mother's Love, the movie.
Wow.
It has to be Mother's Love. No, I'm not even kidding.
One of the classics. That
because every movie I have done, I really love. I'm sure you already know by now that I don't just do projects. I mean, there are 1 or 2 or 3 that I'm not very fond of. But most, I mean, after doing almost 300 films or more, if only 3 are not my favorite, then you understand that most of it were. But all those movies anyway were not my brain work. Do you understand? Like I just took part in them and contributed to them. But Mother's Love is entirely my brain work. Okay. So I really do like Mother's Love. If it tanks, it is my fault. And if it succeeds by God's grace, it is also my brain.
For your beautiful fans that have been following you for the past 35 years, as we wrap up the conversation for Mother's Love, I know it's going to other platforms internationally and all, just as we wrap up the conversation. Just something to tell the fans. They want to hear your voice.
So to all the fans, I want to say thank you for the journey so far. I thank you for watching me grow. I believe that for someone who started out in the industry at the age of 15, I want to believe that I've not disgraced you guys. I've not been infant terrible. I've made a few mistakes here and there like every other human being, but I have I believe that by God's grace, the most part of my career, I have made you proud. So thank you very much. Make me proud too.
Thank you so much.
And watch my movie, Mother's Love. It comes out March 6th in all cinemas nationwide. March 6th. March 6th.
Thank you so much. Our very own Almost Sexy. This will wrap up the conversation. Guys, please watch the film. And of course,
are you guys going to be there?
Yes, so I will be there.
At the premiere and when it comes out.
I'm plugged in. I'm very plugged in.
Front row.
Yes. All right, guys, we need to wrap up the conversation. Our word of the day is I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of them. That's from Nikola Tesla. And this is where we wrap up the show. We'll still give you deets regarding Silver Man of the Year, March 1st, I believe. Yes, March 1st. So please have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.